More racism claims, this time in high-end Italian fashion. Gucci has found itself embroiled in controversy over this polo neck sweater. Quite a few people were quick to point out that the $890 garment resembles a blackface costume.
Balaclava knit top by Gucci. Happy Black History Month, y'all.
I want to hear from the brains behind this design and from the people who approved it for production. This is why you need a diverse workforce.
For a company of your stature, it's really shocking.
Gucci has since apologised and said it will no longer be selling the polo neck sweater. The company also issued a statement stressing its commitment to diversity. Gucci isn't the only big-name Italian brand to be called out recently with claims of racism. In December, Prada withdrew a line of monkey keychains after consumers complained they resembled racist caricatures of black people. We got the thoughts of political commentator Andre Walker and body confidence advocate Joanne Morales.
I think the fact that it was released during Black History Month in America shows that it's very intentional towards something. I mean, this isn't the first major brand to do something so silly. So I think they didn't learn from Prada, and what they thought is, actually, we can use this as a marketing strategy. We'll apologise. It doesn't matter if we hurt people's feelings. It doesn't matter if it's racist. And I think that they planned every step of the way completely.
Well, you would have foreseen the backlash if you'd have had any idea that this looked like a black person, which of course it did not. Just to explain to those of your viewers who haven't seen it, it's effectively a black turtleneck that goes up just to around here and then has an opening for your mouth. It doesn't look like any black person I've ever seen in my life. I cannot see any connection, firstly with Black History Month, as we were just talking about a second, but also ridiculing black people in any way.
You can't say it's not something that would offend someone, because we're not the people that have been offended in history with something so similar. It does look like blackface. Again, from the minstrel show, it's a huge resemblance. And with Prada getting it so wrong and causing such backlash, why would you then bring out a product that's so similar?
I mean, firstly, can I just point out, and I'm not being funny, that black people are not black in the same way that white people like me are not fully white. If there was a white T-shirt that a black person were to wear, I wouldn't say it was ridiculing me for being white. I mean, in what way is that racist? Look, the problem that we've got here is that we're ignoring genuine problems with racism, genuine problems with discrimination, and talk about rubbish like this. It's just rubbish.
If we had suffered racism back in history, how black people did, we would also be offended. We can't stand here and say that's not offensive when you're not the one suffering from it. It's actually, in fact, black people that find it offensive, and they have every right to feel offended. They were the ones that suffered with racism. They were the ones that went through the blackface.
Okay. How many people are offended by this? Where was the outrage? Or was it just a few members of what I call the racism industry, people whose job it is to be offended by this so they can talk about it in the media?
So let me ask you another question. Do you think
racism industry that's offended? Right. It's not real people.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think if there was a black person in the production team, in the management team, in the marketing team, they would have said, yeah, no, that's fine, go ahead with it, especially after what happened with Prada? Did you see what happened with Prada? Do you agree with Prada? And let me ask you another question. Why didn't they bring it out in every other colour? Why black with red lips? Why not green and orange? Why not white and pink? Why black and white? Why black and red? Why black and red? Why not red and pink? Why not orange? Why not green?
Hang on. Why are these garments always black? Because the most ubiquitous colour, the most popular colours for garments are black or white. Why are people offended? Well, actually, in truth, I think you've offered no evidence to suggest that most people are offended. I think very few people are offended. But I think the racism industry, of course they're going to say they're offended. In reality, it's a turtleneck you pull over your face and it happens to come in black. Goodness me,
it's a
get a life.
It's a black-faced turtleneck. Yeah, it's a black-faced turtleneck.